I have been so excited to do this tutorial for you guys. I feel like this tie-dye design looks intimidating, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. To me, it would look intimidating, but there's nothing to it, okay? You're going to take a paper plate, make sure it's from Walmart. If it's not from Walmart, it's not going to work the same. Just kidding. Then you're going to take a fine flat edge paintbrush, okay? And you're going to kind of create a little splatter in the middle. Kind of like when you step on a beetle, or when you kill a fly and it just goes splat. That's what you want the center of your cup to look like, okay? You want it to just look like splat, like you just smushed a bug. Not a ladybug though. Ladybugs are good luck. Don't be smushing no ladybugs, okay? If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I apologize in advance for all the ratchetness. But, sometimes you just can't hold it in. Sometimes you just got to unleash the beast. If you're back for another tutorial, hi, baddies. Sorry, I don't know why you love me so much because, I'm a little bit of a trash bag, but it's fine. Here we go. You're going to want to switch off between using two brushes, okay? You're going to want a skinny, little, tiny, dainty brush. I love the word dainty. Dainty. You're going to use a dainty little brush because the key to making an amazing tie-dye is those little pointy edges where you kind of mesh the colors together and they intertwine. I just want you to know that I'm going to use the word intertwine a lot today. So if you've got nuggets, eat a nugget every time, okay? If you're holding in a fart, let one out every time I say the word intertwine. Just take a drink, whatever it is that you want to do. But that is one of the most important things is when you intertwine your colors. Now, I want you to know that this tumbler is a process. It's a labor of love. You have to be patient. It's not going to necessarily come out exactly the way you want it on the very first coat. You're going to come back and add some little details, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more in detail to you. You want to start with your splatter, and then as you move outward, you want to go into your whatever colors that you want to use. You can do a neon rainbow, a pastel rainbow. You can do monochromatic yellows, greens, blues, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your pickle, whatever scratches your belly button. I don't know if that's a saying or not, but it should be. It kind of sounds cool. But just keep remembering that those little points, okay, those little points that you see me doing, those are the most important thing. And do you see how I leave little gaps in between the pointy thingies? We're going to call them little cactus pointies. Okay, those little spaces are important because that's where you're going to come in with your next color. Now, you see how this brush is a little bit thicker like me? Now, the thicker brushes are a little bit harder to work with because as you can see, you have thicker paint strokes. And I mean, thicker is good in some cases, but not right now. Not for this. Not for this. We don't want the thickness, okay? You want those little tiny pointy edges to get in between get those colors in between each other and those skinny little crevices and intertwine those colors, okay? Now, it's okay if you leave a little bit of a space the way I'm doing here. Like I said, we're going to come back in here and mix and match colors. It's okay on your little Walmart plate. Again, make sure it's a Walmart plate. If it's a Target plate or someone else, I don't know that it's going to mix your colors the same, okay? Very important to remember. If you're new, I'm totally kidding. You will pick up on my humor, I promise. Any hoodly patoodly. Why am I giving you guys that courtesy laugh? Ew, I'm being fake. Anyway, so see how here my first coat dried, and before I even move on, I'm already kind of coming back in there and adding a little bit of those little pointers. See how I'm dragging those points into the center? Those little pointy cactus thingies, those are what's going to make your tie-dye look like more of a tie-dye, right? That's what's going to make it look like, it's like a wash of a whole bunch of different colors. And you know how in a real tie-dye, sometimes when two colors touch, they kind of form their own little color in between. It's okay to do that. It's okay if your colors blend a tiny little bit. Like for example, if you do that light blue, and then you right away go in with your darker blue before your light blue dries, and a few of the strokes kind of blend in, that's okay. You want that in some areas because that's what's going to create that's what's going to create that mesh, that blend, a certain je ne sais quoi, intertwine of colors, if you will. If I must put a word to the action, I would say intertwine for sure. Now, if you look at my plate, I am just making a concoction. Okay, what is it with me and all these words? I'm sorry. Is this am I a thesaurus? Look at me and all my English words. Who would have thunk it that English is my second language with all these big girl words I'm using? And I don't even have a dictionary pulled up. This is all just up here for my little brain, just coming on out like a fart. Now, if you see on my plate, I have a mesh of a whole bunch of different colors. It's okay if you feel like there's not enough of a blend in between your purple and your blue or whatnot. Feel free to make your own little blend of color that's going to fit right in like a wedgie and just stick it in those little nooks and crevices. And as you continue to do your colors, if you're losing those spikes, feel free to go in again on top and layer. Ooh, layer is another good way of explaining it. Feel free to go in there and create layers on top of layers until you get the look that you're going for. The best method to apply your glitter for this design. Sure, you can use a fine paintbrush. I would not recommend it. I do not believe it's going to give you the same result. I've tried it before. I definitely recommend these fine point little adhesion glue holding bottles from Amazon. They're very affordable. I will link them in the description for you. You can get them at any craft store as well. But I think this is the perfect way to get the look that you're going for, because you're going to apply the same process to your glitter as you did when you were painting your tie-dye. You're going to want to do little skinny strokes so that you can intertwine glitter colors with glitter colors. Now, baddies, I am using my new Aladdin collection. It's 3 beautiful colors that I released on Friday. And I don't know why, but as soon as I saw the 3 colors, I was like, these are going to make the perfect tie-dye. Let's get into it. We have to do it. I've already made a neon tie-dye, a neon rainbow tie-dye the week before. So I knew that I wanted a little bit more of a like purple, teal, bluish tie-dye. So you're going to see me doing this in lots of different steps. I know that this seems like it might be a very repetitive and redundant video. I like to be very detailed when I'm teaching you something because I really want you to walk away from this tutorial and I want you to feel confident, like you know exactly how to proceed with this design and you don't feel like you have to keep coming back to rewatch it. I mean, come back and rewatch it as much as you want. But you know what I'm saying? I really want you to understand the process and why I do things the way that I do. So do not skip to this video because later on, I'm going to show you an important step that's going to help you get that really tie-dye look in your glitter. Okay? So sorry if I get too repetitive, but I really want you to understand, okay? Now, I realized after doing a few sections that while these 3 colors are absolutely beautiful together, I felt like I needed a little bit more of a blend, a little bit more of a lighter color to just kind of break up these beautiful, vibrant colors. Excuse me. So I did end up using 2 of my other glitters from my Neon Rainbow collection. This is Wisteria and Bluebell. And the reason I'm going in here with these 2 is just so that I can, like I said, break up these super pigmented, vibrant colors and create more of like a natural fade and more of a diversity of colors. Now remember, you can mix and match all of these glitters to create unique colors that go with your style. Like if you're just gonna do 2 different blues, you can make so many different blues out of 2 different glitters because you just mix them up with different ratios. Okay, like not me sounding like a Tumblr scientist. I'm so annoying and probably laugh at my jokes by myself. I'm that person that tells a joke and cracks up when nobody else laughs, but it's okay. Hey, smiling is good for the soul, okay? Laughing is good. Laughing is good for you. Now, I wanted to do a super close-up of this because I wanted you to see how this fine point glue bottle is allowing me to go in between my glitter stripes, my glitter strokes, and come in there and add a different color. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, one of the most important things on creating this tie-dye is intertwining. You You want to intertwine your colors. That's super important. And you want to keep the integrity of those long, spiky cactus strokes. So I recommend using Mod Podge for this particular design. I do have different types of glues that I like to use for different things. Like I do use Tack It, I use Helios, I have different things I use. But for this particular design, Mod Podge is going to work the absolute best. Why? Because Mod Podge dries fast, okay? Mod Podge dries really fast. And that's what you need. You want your glue to dry fast while you're working because you don't want to contaminate your colors. For example, where I did that super light blue, if that layer isn't dry by the time I come in with my next color, then my darker blue is going to stick into those areas, and you're not going to have a cohesive, clean project. And you don't even have to wait very long. Honestly, by the time that you knock off the excess glitter, clean up your little, parchment paper and come in with your next color, that other color already dried. Or you can use a little handheld fan. Just be careful because this glitter, it's if you blow it, it's going to go everywhere and it's going to go up your nose and you're going to choke and it's going to hurt. I'm not saying that happened to me. I heard from a friend of a friend that could happen. Swear it's not from actual life experiences. Excuse me. Sorry, I cough when I lie. Anyway, so you're just going to keep this process going throughout the entire tumbler. Now, at this point right here, that's a very trust the process type of look. Because right there, sure, the tie-dye looked cute, but it didn't have that like tie-dye effect where the spikes of different glitter colors are intertwining a whole bunch yet. So aside from intertwine, you want to also think layer, kind of like a 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell. You just want to stack on top of each other, okay? And when you do your first layer of glitter, you're going to have gaps in between, okay? Because remember, you're using this little spiky pointy bottle. So you're going to have spaces in between your glitters, which is perfect. You want to allow that. When your first layer of glitter that you do on the entire cup dries fully, like when it's completely dry, that it is hard to the touch. Not going to say anything inappropriate, but when it's hard to the touch, you want to come in there and layer on top of the layer you already did and get in those little nooks and crevices and those little areas where you may have left a gap. Get in there and drag those spikes into the next color, okay? And that is going to completely transform your design. Okay, do you see what I'm doing here? You see how I'm going over that established purple already and I'm just dragging in a few lines here and there, but I'm leaving spaces. Oh my gosh. Our bathroom is right next to my craft room, and men are so loud when they're getting ready. I do not know if you can hear Jenny like, bleh, bleh. I'm not even going to edit him out because I always tell him, how come when I brush my teeth and I deep throat that toothbrush and I scrub the heck out of my tongue, how come we don't do that? We're not like, bleh, bleh, bleh. It sounds like a choking chinchilla, okay? So you know what? I'm not going to edit him out of this because if you guys can hear him, he's doing too damn much, okay? You know what? That is why it is us women that have the babies. Because you know what? Some of these men out here, okay, they do the most for the minimum things. Okay, I'm getting off track. Back to the tutorial. Back to your scheduled programming. Layering, okay? Like a 5-layer bean burrito from Taco Bell. You'll see, and also do not worry about damaging the layer below. Number one, you're going to gently glide your glue over the layers of glitter that you already have. You're not scraping, you're not scratching, you're just very gently gliding and drawing those lines on top. Baddies, I cannot stress enough how important this step is once you've already done your first layer of glitter. I cannot stress how important it is for you to come back in here when your glitter is fully dry and just drag out some spikes of colors into other colors and make them intertwine cohesively. You want points. You want pointy points. That is going to give you the best result at the end of this design. And because I feel like this is such a repetitive design, and once I've already taught you the fundamentals and how to intertwine and overlap and layer and all of that, it's basically just the same thing until you completely finish this around. So I do want to tell you guys, in this tutorial, I will not be epoxying this tumbler or doing any of that stuff. This tutorial is just to show you how to do the glitter tie-dye part. If you want to learn how to epoxy, I have done lots of videos explaining that. I will link some of them at the top for you. I will also link some of them at the end screen of this video, just so that you can go back and watch some of that stuff. But for this particular video, just because the actual tie-dye process itself, it's kind of, you know, it needs a lot of explaining. I didn't want to make this video 5 days long. So we're only going to do the glitter portion of this tutorial and then move on. I do have a very beautiful, like, baby blue, Overthinking University UV DTF decal. It's super cute. And I feel like this is what I want to put on this cup. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I do want to remind you guys that I sell UV DTFs on my website. I have gorgeous tumbler decals, gorgeous tumbler wraps. I also came up with this amazing idea to design a V-split UV DTF. So basically it's the inner triangle of your V-split, and it has like different patterns. So you can apply that to your V-splits and just add like a wow factor to the inside of your V, like whatever glitter color you choose, get it smooth with epoxy and then do that UV DTF pattern on top. Super cute. I do want to show you guys a token of my appreciation. So there is a special discount code for you YouTube baddies that are always coming through, showing me love on my YouTube. The discount code for you is YouTube. That's going to give you 10% off of any apparel, any UV DTF decals, any glitter that's coming on up. So check that out. I do ship pretty fast. I don't want to brag. I am trying to compete with Amazon. Just kidding. But I do ship pretty fast. Also, I release new colors every Friday, as well as new UV DTF glitters. And very soon I will be launching my very own subscription box, which will always have no less than 5 glitters. It'll have UV DTF decals in it, and occasionally you're gonna have some extra goodies in there, like a silicone mat here and there, etc. And we've come to the end of another fun tutorial, baddies. The bottom of my tumbler, I just did a mixture of all the glitters that I used on the cup, all of my little dump glitter. And I want to thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube tutorial. Please leave me a comment. I love coming back to read the comments. Have an amazing day, baddies. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself, eat some nuggets, be kind, and don't hold in a fart. Besitos!